A shocking report recently released out of the Federal Reserve is showing that Americans are now carrying a staggering $1.23 trillion of credit card debt right now in early 2026 in what they're calling the year of affordability. I'm not sure about you, but carrying a record $1.23 trillion in credit card debt does not sound like affordability to me. That sounds like a massive squeeze on finances to me for a huge percentage of the population, and I want to talk about that for you here in this video. Now, I also do have this article right here. I'm going to pop this up in just a second so you can see and read for yourself exactly what they're talking about. I will pull out the key details within that I think we need to understand, because when Americans struggle financially like this that we're seeing right now in 2026, guess what also struggles? The economy. That's a big deal, because when the economy struggles, guess what happens? It gets into this doom loop where all of a sudden the economy's struggling, consumers are tapped out, they've got no more money, they've used up all of their buying power, their purchasing power, right? They have no cash, they have no money in the bank, they've tapped out their credit cards, they're using buy now, pay later to pay for different things like necessities. Not a good scenario. And then the economy starts to feel it. Businesses start laying people off because they're not bringing in the revenues, they can't pay for the payrolls, and therefore more people are laid off on the unemployment line collecting unemployment benefits. Their income goes down, they start spending less, and the doom loop continues on and on and on, and it gets to be a really bad situation. Anyway, let's pop this article up right here right now. Feel free to read through the details on this. Let me explain and pull out the key details that I want you to know on this. This is incredible. Nearly $1.25 trillion of credit card debt that we are collectively carrying as the American population. This is nuts. Now, I'm going to be fair with you. Me personally as well, I've said this many times before in other videos, I have multiple credit cards, like a lot of credit cards. But me personally, I'm carrying about $19,000 across, I think, like 4 different cards right now. One card has the bulk of that, about $13,000, and then the other $6,000 is spread across a few different cards. But my point is, I'm right in this category as well. So I'm a contributor of this $1.23 trillion. Not proud of it, but that is my situation as well. Now, here's the deal. The average credit card interest rate out there is just under 20%. 19.61% is the average credit card interest rate right now. I can tell you this much from personal experience. And again, I'm going to be fair with you. I don't look at how much I pay in interest per month. Reason being is it honestly really irritates me. I don't want to really know. So I just pay, what I can each month, things like that. But I don't really sit there and look at every last dollar that goes into the interest, because I'm just like, oh my gosh, it is so much money that's being wasted on interest. It's like, I can't even look at that. It's just like, it really upsets me like a lot. But my point is, people literally are tapped out. This is the situation that we've seen coming for years. In fact, like every quarter that comes around that we get these credit card payment amounts, or the interest, credit card debt numbers, like this $1.23 trillion. When we get these numbers every quarter, it goes up every single quarter after quarter after quarter. Maybe like one time, like, I don't know, a year or two ago, it went down like one time, a little tiny bit. I think that was after they distributed stimulus checks or something like that. Where people had a little bit of extra money and they paid some of that off. But for the most part, for the last basically 5 years, this amount of debt on credit cards, it just keeps going up and up and up and up. Now, here's the deal. Like I said earlier, people are tapped out. They've got no more purchasing power. They've tapped everything out. They've got no money in the bank. They've got basically the income that comes into them, whatever that happens to be, is allocated every single month to paying debts, to paying living expenses, to paying bills, things like that. And there's nothing left to put toward the credit card bill every single month as well, right? So it's a major issue. People are relying on buy now, pay later, otherwise known as BNPL, at the greatest pace that we've ever seen in this country. Now, during the holiday shopping season in the fourth quarter of 2025, we saw buy now, pay later utilized at the fastest and greatest pace that we've ever seen. That's not a good situation, because here's the deal. When people use buy now, pay later, again, I'm not going to speak for everybody, but the majority of the people that use buy now, pay later simply cannot afford what they're buying at the time, so they utilize BNPL services to basically break it down and get, whatever they want at the time for a smaller monthly payment versus like a $200 one-time charge. Now it breaks it down into, say, like, multiple different payments, and it's not much. It's like $20 a month or something. It's like, oh, cool, yeah, that's not much. I can do that, right? And then they get into this again, the doom loop, where it's like, oh, it's just 20 a month, it's just 15 a month, it's just 20 a month, it's just 25 a month, it's just $10 a month, whatever it happens to be. And before you know it, all of a sudden they're like, uh-oh, I've got way in over my head here and I don't know what to do, right? And then it's way too late at that point. That's a scenario that we're seeing right now, is that incomes are not keeping up with expenditures. We know that the cost of living on everything continues to rise rapidly. People are getting way in over their head with their finances and debt that they're carrying on credit cards and buy now, pay later, and it's getting to be a nasty situation. Now, here's the thing as well. What's funny is we've been talking about this for a couple years, which is, everything going up in price massively, even though they continue to tell us, oh, don't worry, inflation is going down. And I keep coming back and saying, what the F are you smoking? Inflation on stuff is not going down. If you look at the aggregate inflation across the board on everything, okay, fine. Maybe it looks, lower than it really is. But here's the deal. If you look at inflation on things like housing, rents, utilities, food, medical, right? All of this stuff is very expensive. The things that we utilize on a very regular basis and we're buying weekly or monthly or whatever it happens to be, those things are still rising rapidly. But if you look at everything collectively and you lump it all together and you aggregate everything, then fine. Maybe inflation looks like it's 2.7% or something like that. That's everything, because there's some things out there that are not increasing in price. The items that are discretionary that not many people are buying, and they might not be rising in price very much, but when you lump it all together, it brings down the overall average. But if you just looked at inflation on, again, rents, housing, utilities, food, medical, things like that, it's actually way more than they tell us that it is. And again, these are the things that many of us are spending our money on weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, things like this on a regular basis, and we're still seeing those price increases way more than the 2.6, 2.7%, or whatever it happens to be that they continue to tell it is, right? And again, like I said before in other videos, BLS, Bureau of Labor Statistics, or Bureau of Lies and Statistics, or just plain old BS department, right? The Bureau of BS department. But my point is, their manipulation of numbers and everything like that are manipulated to perfection, right? We know this, right? Every time we get the reports that come out, oh, look at how strong and robust everything is. Oh, don't worry, nothing to see here. There's no inflation. The jobs are coming back. There's tons of jobs being created. It's like, come on here. They're not even telling us the real picture. We know what is really going on because we're out here. We're living it and we're seeing it, and it's a nasty situation. Point being is that with all of this, record credit card debt, $1.23 trillion credit card debt, the massive utilization of BNPL, buy now, pay later services, okay? All of this combined, Americans are tapped out. We've got nothing left, right? We've got no juice left. We've got nothing left in the tank. We've got fumes, right? We've got fumes left. That's the situation that people are dealing with, and we're seeing this reflected in the overall economy. When the economy feels the pain of people having no money, they're tapped out, okay? That's when the doom loop starts to happen. And unfortunately, I think we're starting to see this unravel now, right? There's, according to the statistics, roughly 10%, the top 10% of income earners in our country are the ones that are keeping this economy afloat right now. If they cut back on their spending a little bit, look out below. It's going to get nasty, and it's going to get nasty fast, right? Because we're all tapped out. Everybody's buying power is gone. That's it. We got no more buying power. What are we supposed to do now, right? Rely on the 10% of the rich people out there to keep this thing going? It's a small percentage of the population to rely on, right? It's only about, 33 million people? Assuming a population of about 335 million, the top 10%, again, would be about 33 million people keeping the entire U.S. economy afloat. I don't know. Something about that sounds pretty scary, right? Anyway, my point is, if you are in a situation where you're floating balances on credit cards, there's a couple things you can do. Oh, I was going to tell you a little bit more about my situation as well. Okay, I'll just tell you really quickly here. Again, I have about 19,000 collectively across, I think, 3 or 4 credit cards. I'd have to look again, but it's 3 or 4 credit cards. But anyway, My point is this: scrutinize every purchase. In fact, at the end of last year into this year, I told my wife this. Many of you in this community know her. Corey, right? I told her this: we're going to scrutinize every single purchase. 2026 is the year of paying this down. Okay, I am so sick and tired of paying all of this interest on credit cards. I'm tired of it. Like, I am 100% sick of it. I told her that this year we're going to scrutinize every last purchase, and we're only buying necessities. So I mean, like, everything. Like, I'm getting extreme about this, right? And she's like, but I want to get this. And I'm like, dude, do we need it? No. Okay, then the answer is no. You're not getting this thing, right? And it comes down to this. It's getting to the point, and again, I'm so hyper focused on this because I'm totally sick and tired of having this huge credit card bill all the time. I'm saying we're scrutinizing everything, even down to the grocery orders. I'm like, before you push a submit button to submit a grocery order, I want to know every single item on that, and we're pulling stuff out that we don't need. My point is, every last dollar that could possibly be saved on something that could be used to pay down credit card debt will ultimately help you save that interest. And again, it might only be a little bit here and there, but you know what? It all adds up a lot. Now, another thing too as well, I would suggest, call your credit card company and see if you can negotiate them to bring your interest rate down. It's worth asking. I've said this many times before in other videos. My philosophy is ask, and you will be shocked at what you get. You'll be shocked. I ask all the time, like annoyingly amounts of time that I ask all the time. I mean, I'm constantly asking for a discount. I'm asking for everything to be reduced, like a lower price, lower cost, lower interest rates, whatever it happens to be. It does not matter. I'm always asking. You would be surprised how often I get something when I ask, okay? Same thing that I say to those of you in this community that are on Medicare. I say this much: if you're on Medicare, if you're one of the 70 million people on Medicare, call Chapter right there and ask, what can you do? They have access to over 20,000 plans across the country. You would be shocked how many people out there, those of you watching this video that are listening to this, have flexibility and optionality right now, even early on in 2026, right now as we speak. You would be surprised, okay? Those of you in this community calling that phone number, just in the last 1 year, actually it's a little more than a year now, have saved over $2 million. 10,000 of you in this community have called that phone number. A couple thousand of you so far this year have already called that phone number, saving $1,000 on average when you call them. Okay, my point is, ask all the time. Ask. And I think you're going to be shocked at what you can get and how much money you can save. And again, remember, it all adds up. The worst attitude that some people could have is just, it's just $5, it's just $10, it's just $20. That's the stuff that eats people alive. When they're like, it's just $5, it's just $20, who cares? It's just a little bit of money. Yeah, you know what? Do that 5, 10, 15, 20, 100 times. Now you're talking $200, $500, $2,000. Yeah, now are we talking about something serious? Exactly, right? That's what I'm saying. It all adds up. It all adds up in a pretty big way. Anyway, just want to share this with you really quickly. And again, if you happen to be one of the 70 million people on Medicare, please call Chapter right there. It's free. Look, free. You don't have to pay a penny, not even a penny, to call them whatsoever. Grab your Medicare card, grab your phone, call them, see what they can do for you. Again, they've got access to 20,000 plans across the country. See what they can help you out with to help you find the proper Medicare plan and coverage for you and your personal needs. If you need help with your enrollment in a Medicare, if you're turning 65 at all in 2026, call them there. If you have questions on Medicare, if you hate your plan, if it doesn't cover you properly, if you're paying too much, if your prescriptions are too much, if you can't see your doctor, can't go to the office, can't go to the clinic, whatever it happens to be, call Chapter there. See what they can do. I think you will be surprised with what options you have. Hope this helps you out. Enjoy your day. Please subscribe. Please share the video. Both buttons right down below.